Hello, this is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone, from the website Mobile Audit Club and YouTube Saint Rambone videos. You can find Mobile Audit Club by searching online. You can see Saint Rambone videos by seeing YouTube. Today is July 27th, 2012. I'm here to give you the annual report at the mid-year. I'm a little late. That's life. One of my predictions has turned out to be very true. The Milky Way galaxy clear sky effect, or Milky Way galaxy center clear sky effect. I gave this estimation back in February of 2012. I predicted severe drought based on a photo I saw that was soon taken off of the web. It appears we're having severe drought stretching what I call the Devil's Triangle, the area that I would audit, from Florida up to, there'll be North Florida, or actually, all of Florida, up to the Northern California area. Here is that the Milky Way Galaxy Center clear sky effect was based on the fact that there was no real atmosphere around the Earth and the solar system that we are used to in our normal procedures through the galaxy as we proceed through. The very center appears as being pushed out. I predict from that photo I saw that was taken off, we will have severe drought up through the end of, at least through 2013. We may get some relief in 2014. Maybe not. The government tried to call me insane. The Milky Way Galaxy Clear Sky Effect proves that they won't even talk about the truth about the weather. Our weather is impacted by more than what goes on around our planet. There is a universe out there and they know about these things. Censorship. That's all they do nowadays, is censor us here in the United States. I suspect it's the same in Western Europe. We have basically a dictator or dictators. Obama is not our real dictator. He's just a face that's put up there. He's nothing. He's like a passing phase. The truth is that dictators stay hidden. They do not care about the lower caste or the lower class in this country more than or any other nation. Another one of my predictions was that the banking system was going to fail horribly. We have had over 100 failed banks, failed by the FDIC, or closed, basically failed, but not put on the failed FDIC bank list. Over 100 banks in the past 2 years in the United States. You can expect more of this. The Glass-Steagall Act was shot down in 1999. It was a work of art. The Glass-Steagall Act, basically, in 1933, set up our banking system for an equal distribution of wealth in a capitalistic society, in a positive capitalistic society, not negative capitalism, not casinos, which I consider to be an indicator that this nation has lost a war of some sort in addition to much of Western Europe. I say this because I believe there's more effects of the nuclear bombs we allegedly experienced than what they have told us. Something else goes on with this. I speak of this and I write of this with mathematical calculations, including Betts' law, on page line 12 of Mobile Audit Club. You can search for Mobile Audit Club online. Google has a good search for it. You'll find it being the first one. It's my belief we lost this war long, long ago, and I don't know when. You could say we lost it back in World War I, World War II, beginning for that. I just think humankind is lost. I think that many of us have unexplained abductions. I personally had scars that I could not explain when I was a child. I also had intolerable stuttering. I had scars on my ankle. I had a busted nut. I had an eye that was actually damaged, an eyelid, ear partially shaved off, and these strange dots on my side, which may indicate that I'm just part African American. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Let's see here. Don't ever mention that in front of a crowd of 2 whites and 2 blacks. You'll get them all angry at you, but you're too pale. Let's go on down to the next list. Tsar Bomba, 1961, October 31. I talk about this bomb on the Loveline 12 page. It's the largest bomb in the history of mankind. It may not have been a bomb. I'm basing my theories on Nikola Tesla's work involving mind control and also a new sort of weapon that would utilize energies in space to create a nuclear type or nuclear size explosion. That would be Tsar Bomba on October 31st, 1961. That was happened. Castle Bravo blast by the United States was in 1954. They say it was by the United States, March 1st. I think there was more to the Castle Bravo blast than what was mentioned, and I believe we did lose some sort of war. I know of some people who were actually probably exposed to that one. The casinos across the United States are an indicator of this nation being overrun by our worst enemy. It's the same in USA, Canada, and much of Western Europe. The way I see it, it's just a way to siphon off money from people. They give the casino operators a little bit, who are basically nothing but little paupers who learn how to basically joust money out of people who are either too bored to have too much money, or they just can't control their gambling habit. I think all casinos should be shut down in the United States. Then again, I don't have a job at one of them. However, I do think they're detrimental to society from a more objective standpoint. I'm sure if I was working for one, I wouldn't be saying that. But I do not trust them, and I do not care if they're shut down. I see them as parasitic. Kismet in 2001, I was injected and basically tortured before I went to court in Los Angeles. It was a federal charge for nothing, being asleep in my vehicle coming to get health care. I just happened to have my U-Haul with me. I was forcibly injected that night. That was on April the 23rd of 2001. Now, why wasn't this case done away with? I think of this as Kismet. It was actually no process in 2004. Even though the government did not take it off in 2004, they did not take it off until 2011 when I asked them to, and they may still not have taken it off. A nothing BS charge. What the government is known to do to the poorer caste in this society. In 2004, I was injected. Now this is where the Kismet comes in. Why did God allow me to be injected, tortured, and thrown in jail and on probation for 3 years? Kismet. If you get health care in Arizona, this is Kismet. I'm sitting here to give you this message. If you get health care in Arizona, New Mexico, or Nevada, they have something under Chapter 36 laws. In Arizona, they call it Chapter 36-520 law. Arizona Title 36-520. Look that one up on the web and you'll see. They can hold you down and forcibly inject you and knock you unconscious, give you a stroke, and do godly unknown things to you. Simply because you were on probation and seeking health care in these states. Now these are rules put in forth by the dictatorship that has come in power and has turned against us. Not only now, but most likely back in the alleged Vietnam era. Beware of the USA governments. Beware of USA health care. Come up with a decent health plan for yourself. I just try to stay healthy. I would not even use VA health care because I was injected on VA property in Los Angeles in 2001, even after I reported Sheriff Jack Tillman of Mobile, Alabama as being a food funds thief, starving his inmates. He had over $365,000 in an account with starving inmates. That's $1,000 a day if you round it out. I reported him on 4/3/2001, April 3rd, 2001, in front of cameras, and he snatched my gun permit when I was going to report it. Then when I fled him after they went after my family at their place of employment and coming to my home, after I fled him, I went to Los Angeles, and that was when I was injected. The government does not care about you. They do not care if we are jacked around. You are being jacked around. If you salute that flag, if you go into that military, you are asking for trouble. See Mobile Audit Club website, Quatrains 12 page and Loveline 12 page. Much of what I talk about and many proofs are there and on the home page and in the daily forward notes. Also, look in the sidebar of this video for various links that I will put in through time proving what I'm talking about. There was a man named, also I was in the U.S. Navy. I no longer trust the Navy, and I advise you if you're in to go AWOL and do not come back. We have lost the war long ago. The one who is in power over the United States and Canada and Western Europe they are the enemy to the working class of the United States. All of us. Not only they're our enemy, but they're the enemy of people overseas in many cases. During the Gulf War, or during the Iraq War, in 1992, when Bush came in, I do not think he was himself. There was some question about some things having been done to him while he was in a prisoner of war camp. He was in a prisoner of war camp in Vietnam. Now what did they do to him? Which arm was injured, George? Who knows? It got confused. There is a report on this in Alabama about the mistake they may have made. George Bush I knew about this long ago. I was put into the VA, and not the VA, but the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation as a bank examiner in 1999. That was when Clinton was in. Clinton allegedly passed the Financial Services Modernization Act, which basically washed out the work of art, the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933. What they did was they allowed banks like Citibank to go ahead and go into the insurance business. I was on the ship in 1983. I was on a USS Reed FFG-30. We had a signalman, Mr. Carlson, who was up on the mast of the ship. I asked if I could go up on the mast and run some rope for the signal flags. They said, no, Carlson has to go as his job. I actually volunteered. Never again volunteer yourself. Mr. Carlson is now in a wheelchair with multiple sclerosis, MS. He is in a wheelchair. When I was there watching this happen, they had shut off the radar from rotating, but I asked if it was still on, and they said yes. And the radar was pointing at Carlson, up on the mast, who now has multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis. On that same boat on USS Reed, FFG-30, one of the gunnery guys, a programmer, threw the computers and the guns overboard. Off of this ship, after he found there was a list of us men, and they had listed it somehow the queer list. Even though I am not queer, I do believe I was a guinea pig for experiments along with Carlson. Do not go in that military. We have lost a war. They call me insane. Look at the Milky Way Galaxy Center, clear sky effect, and look at my video I predicted. You'd think with all those weathermen out there, they could predict the weather based on a satellite image of a change in the atmosphere, in the entire atmosphere around our Earth and our solar system. This is the entire, a 2-year span, our entire solar system floats through the center of the galaxy. From this point, it was very clear. It was like cloudy, then it got clear, and it's coming towards the center. It stayed clear over here, and then it got cloudy again. And they had marked this hidden image, this hidden video that I saw, or hidden image. They've hidden it, and they had marked it over a 2-year period for that clear area. Based on my chemistry training, we will not have rain of any significant quality in many places, at least through the end of 2013, maybe into 2014. The weather proves the government is going bad. They banned the truth. They're jacking us around. I used to make a joke one time thinking Wells Fargo was a different kind of bank. They're just another money launderer, folks. I'm trying to find another nation, one without casinos. I'm looking at Turkey, Israel, Iran, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, maybe not UAE. I think they have casinos. I don't want to go anywhere where there's a casino. I don't want to go anywhere where they have disparate drug laws as they do in the United States, where they sell marijuana in mass profusion in some states and have it restricted in others and pretend it is not addictive. If they're going to do it, they should just go ahead and put the little green shops in the back alleys everywhere. The government has turned against us, people. They use that drug money to make themselves richer. The ones who oppose us, who hold us down in positive capitalistic development. It's been a long day. It's been a long life. Once again, The Milky Way galaxy center clear sky effect. They say I'm insane. Well, look at the censorship. You don't hear them talking about the reason why we're having drought for the next probably at least another year and a half. And what I call the Devil's Triangle stretches from Florida all the way to California, both the north and south. The Glass-Steagall Act down in 1999. We lost the war a long time ago. They're robbing the banks. Nuclear bombs may be used for something other than just blowing things up. Mind control. Control the points on space. If you read my Love Line 12 page, you'll see where I've come up with a theorem on this based on the latitude and longitude of the bombs and the time of year. You must remember, even though I talk about 7 years, 8 months is the only thing that matters. Once an object is in motion, it stays in motion. If you're in geosynchronous orbit with the Earth, you will stay in that position. You've got to keep this in mind when you're examining that document. If you look at it. Casinos, I think they ought to all be shut down in the USA. Who cares? Kismet. Remember, be careful with health care in the United States. The government has turned against us. I advise you to teach your children at least half time at home and maybe not let them run with that thing the whole full time in public schools. They do not teach them what they need to know. They teach them about Julius Caesar and his stick conquering Europe, but they do not talk about diseases. They do not talk about chemistry. They do not talk about anything that matters in our society. Positive capitalism, negative capitalism, is never mentioned because they don't understand that we need to understand, or they do it deliberately. Remember Vietnam. That was one war in my life that proved they hated every one of us. I was stupid to have gone in the military. Had I not been drinking the night before and hung over and missed my day at work, swinging from a rope in a shipyard, I wouldn't have gone in. There's got to be a better way. This is Kurt Brown, alias St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club. Kismet. God struck me in 2001 so I could send you the report in 2004 from Mobile Audit Club. Jack, behind me is the window. Jump out, Jack. Jump out. You're not going, baby. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. You greasy thieves inside the government. We don't care if you're destroyed. I'd rather be dead than be under my enemy. Therefore, I made a prayer. A prayer that they be destroyed or that we be destroyed. We cannot live like criminals and thieves and treated like guinea pigs and forcibly injected just for simply leading our poor, impoverished lives. Our leaders are not our leaders, as they say. We are under a dictatorship with a hidden face. All we know is they're filthy rich, and they don't care, and they're taking over the banking system, insurance, and securities, and consolidating it into one huge Walmart, and they're going to slap your ass into the lower caste from now to evermore. They're not letting us off the planet. We're prisoners on planet Earth. Some days I feel like a convict here. Wells Fargo won't hire me. Department of Financial Institutions in California won't hire me. The FDIC fired me because I wouldn't drop an EEOC complaint. They had intended to inject me with drugs by trying to force me to go to a room at night. That is my theory on this one, because they're killing people at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and that was in San Francisco. And we've had neighborhoods blown up in San Bruno, California in 2010 over the banking system involving Wells Fargo Bank, Wachovia Bank, and Casa de Cambio, Puebla in Mexico. They had a war break out too. This is Kurt Brown, alias St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club, wishing you a happy day, a happy life, and get the hell out of here if you're not queer. If you're on the queer list, the FDIC, well, jump right in. Carlson did. Love you, buddy. I'm sorry they put you in the wheelchair. If I'd known what they were going to do to you, I'd have run off that boat and made you go with me. Kurt Brown, alias St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club. Kurt Brown, alias St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club. Mobile Audit Club. Mobile Audit Club. Mobile Audit Club. Kurt Brown, alias St. Rambone, Mobile Audit Club.